Hello and welcome to this lecture in marketing management. In this lecture, we are going to speak about types of relationship management and also about the significance of CRM, that is customer relationship management. So, I will take you through the slideshow, and with examples we are going to see the related concepts of relationship management as well as customer relationship management. Let me change the slides now. So, let us once again rewind and let us go through the meaning of CRM. So, as we saw that CRM stands for customer relationship management, and it is a technology used for managing the interactions with customers and potential customers. So, this is the concept of CRM, the fundamental concept which says that customer relationship management is about the technology and it is about the softwares and processes through which the interactions with the customers and potential customers are recorded, and these interactions are then managed. A CRM system helps the organization to build customer relationships and streamline processes. So, process streamlining and maintaining and managing relationships with the customers were the part of the CRM, and it was done to improve the sales and improve the customer service, also to improve the profitability. So, ultimate objectives of the CRM was to improve the profitability, the productivity, and increase the sales, and also increase the productivity and streamline the business processes. And it also helped to improve the customer service, because customer service is an essential component of any business process. So, with higher customer satisfaction, the customers are inclined towards the business, and then the customer can purchase more, and this contributes to the increased sales, and increased sales results into increased profits. So, that was the meaning of CRM. Then we had defined CRM as the strategy for managing all the company's relationships and interactions with customers, the potential customers, and it helped the company to improve profitability. So, the CRM system was a kind of technological tool which helped the company in managing contact, in doing contact management, sales management, workflow processes, and also to improve the productivity. So, in all, the CRM system was about much more than only managing the sales and marketing. So, it was a tool, it was a technology based tool which was which the company used in order to maintain interaction, manage interaction with the customers, and streamlining the workflow, managing the modules such as HR, and interacting with the suppliers, and so much more. So, we had already discussed about the CRM, and these were the things that made it extremely indispensable tool for the business. Moving beyond. Now, we are in this lecture talking about the various types of customer relationship management. So, basically we can say that there are three types of customer relationship management. There is the operational CRM, which we called as OCRM, and then after that there was analytical CRM. So, analytical CRM is called ACRM. A stands for analytical, and collaborative CRM, that is CCRM. So, these are the three basic types of customer relationship management. The analytical, first of all the operative CRM, followed by the analytical CRM, and then there is the collaborative CRM. So, now we are going to discuss about the each one, and we will take into the details, and we will take into account the examples. So, first of all we will talk about the operational CRM. Now, let me read out the first point, what operational CRM actually is referred to. So, the operational CRM can support direct interaction with customers, and this direct interaction with customers is supported and managed through a number of tools. These tools are phone, fax, mobile, etc. So, in all, the operational CRM is about the operational tasks which are managed, and as the name suggests, the operational tasks of interacting with the consumers are done through operational CRM, and the interaction with the consumers are done through various channels. These various channels can be phone as well as the fax or the email also. So, using an operational CRM, the company can store information like customers' requirements, preferences, discuss the matter anymore. This is very helpful for the company because whatever interactions the company does with the customers, those interactions are recorded and they are kept in a database. So, the company can store the information. So, the database can store the information, and what all sorts of information can be stored? Information that can be stored are related to the customer's requirements. These are related to customers' preferences, and whatever matters are discussed between the company and the customers. So, the discussed matters can include the issues, it can include the complaints made, and so on. So, operational CRM will help the company in storing all these information into its centralized database, and where from where this information can be very easily retrieved whenever it is required. So, in a very structural manner, the information is kept in the database of the company, and because the information is historically stored, so at any given point of time the company is in a position of knowing as to what was the last interaction that it had with the customer, what is the customer's complaint history, how many issues of the customer have been successfully resolved by the company, how many issues are still lying unresolved, and things like that. So, to sum up, we can say that operational CRM is an indispensable tool which gives the company a lot of option to store and retrieve the interactions with the consumer. So, using operational customer relationship management, we get a unified view of the customers. Unified because the customer related information and the interactions are stored at one place. So, it gives a very simplified, unified as well as structural view. So, the view is structural, simplified as well as unified. In the absence of the CRM software, it would become very difficult for the company to retrieve such data, because then the data would have to be handled manually, and with manual handling of data, the data can be lost, and also the retrieval would be very difficult, and company would not have any structural storage in order to know its customer better. So, we can conclude that operational CRM helps a company to know the consumers better as well as to serve them in an efficient way. So, this was about operational CRM, and now we move to analytical CRM. So, operational CRM actually generates a lot of data, and this data which is generated by the operational CRM is then used by the analytical CRM in analyzing the data. So, the data analysis part is the area of analytical CRM. So, let me read out this point. The data generated by operational CRM is analyzed by analytical CRM, and data analysis is extremely important to solve problems. So, when we have a large amount of data, the analysis of that data goes into a long way to solve the problems. So, this data is analyzed by analytical CRM, and this helps the company to understand the behavior and the value of the customer. So, let me give you a very simple example here. Let us suppose we have a data of 100 customers, and this is the purchase data of the customers, and customers have purchased products from the company. So, when this data is stored in the system of the company, and it is stored in a structural way, and the company wants to find out who are the valuable consumers and who are the non-valuable consumers of the company. So, the company will have to simply retrieve this data, and then the company will filter out from this data as to who were the customers who purchased the products beyond a certain price point. So, if let us say the price point is rupees 50,000, so all those consumers who purchased the products of the company more than 50,000 rupees worth would be called as the valuable consumers, while all the consumers who purchased the products of the company worth less than rupees 50,000 would be called as the invaluable or non-valuable consumers. So, just by placing a checkpoint or doing a little analysis, the company would be in a position to declare a given set of customers as valuable, while a given set of customers would be declared as non-valuable. So, this was a very simple example in which we saw that how analytical CRM would work, and analytical CRM can function well only when the operational CRM functions well. So, analytical CRM is actually dependent on operational CRM for the inputs, while the output of the analytical CRM would be the solution to the problems of the company. So, coming to the second point in analytical CRM, it says that analytical CRM makes use of analytical marketing tools to get information like buying patterns, like the profitable and unprofitable customers. So, right now we discussed in this example how valuable and non-valuable consumers were separated from each other using analytical CRM. So, likewise analytical CRM can also be used for studying the buying patterns of the consumers. So, we can take the example of a pizza shop, and the consumers go to that pizza shop and purchase pizza day in and day out. And after a month, if the company wants to purchase, if the company wants to analyze the purchase patterns, or let us say after 6 months or 1 year, if the company wants to study the purchase pattern, then it will simply have to click on the customer ID, and through customer ID for a particular customer, the company will come to know what were the days and what were the instances when pizzas were purchased by that consumer. So, the company would also come to know the variety of the pizzas that the customers purchased. So, this will give a huge insight to the company into the purchase pattern of an individual consumer as well as a set of consumer. So, the company using the data can also retrieve the information like who were the consumers who purchased a particular kind of pizza on a particular date or during a particular time duration. So, with such information in hand, the company can make a lot of marketing decisions, and therefore, we can say that analytical CRM helps the company in making useful marketing decisions with such kind of important information. It is then used to approach the customers accordingly and satisfy their needs. So, the ultimate goal of the company is to satisfy the needs of the consumers, and analytical CRM helps the organization in satisfying the needs of the consumers and giving the company huge insights into customers' behavioral patterns, and this can be further used for research and problem solving purposes. So, this was about analytical CRM. Now, let us move our focus to what is called as collaborative CRM. Collaborative CRM, as it is mentioned, can enhance the quality of the services provided to the customers. Now, customers' experience with the company can be enhanced through collaborative CRM. Now, how exactly this happens? Let me read out the second point and tell you. We'll try to understand it through an example as to how exactly collaborative CRM functions. The second point says that when the customers' experience, or rather the quality of the services provided to the customers would improve, what will happen is this in turn will increase customers' loyalty. So, the quality of services offered is directly linked with the customers' loyalty. Moreover, it allows easy collaboration with customers and suppliers, and thus it will give a better sale and customer service. So, collaborative CRM is about collaboration. So, it is about bringing together parties and interacting with more than one parties at the same time. So, collaborative CRM would bring the company on the same platform, and it would connect with the suppliers as well as with the customers. And with the help of collaborative CRM, the company comes in a position to offer better quality products and services to their consumers. Partner relationship management system is an example of collaborative CRM. So, in partner relationship management system, there are various parties such as the suppliers, the customers and other stakeholders, and the organization is able to connect with these parties through a technology platform called the partner management system. So, that is an example of collaborative CRM. So, all in all, the three kinds of CRMs have to function well, and one is dependent on the other. Like analytical CRM is absolutely dependent on the operational CRM, and then we have the collaborative CRM. So, the output of all these three drives the company towards higher profitability and sustainable revenue growth. So, after discussing the three types of CRM, now we have to discuss about the components of CRM. So, what are the components of a CRM, and what all functional areas a CRM can address? So, let me read out the various components of CRM. The various components are sales force automation. So, CRM has a component wherein the sales force can be automated and the tasks which are related to the sales force can be automated. Then there is another component which is the human resource management. So, the human resource management is about the company resources, the people of the company who are working to fulfill the business objectives of the company, their management, which includes their salary formation and holiday management and leaves, etc. Then lead management is concerned with lead generation. So, we all know that whenever the data of the potential customer is obtained, so that is called a lead, and then the company tries to convert the lead into an actual customer. So, lead management is one of the important component of CRM. Then of course, the customer service, as we have been discussing, that CRM is largely used for doing efficient customer service. So, CRM makes the customer service efficient, and record of customer interactions are kept. So, these records in turn help the company in remaining in touch with their consumers and serving them better. Then marketing is one of the component. So, marketing is about creating awareness, communicating with the consumer, and letting the consumer know what all products and services are being offered by the company, and what are the discounts and what are the various rewards for the consumers which the company is planning to roll out. So, all these things are also covered in CRM. So, that is one of the component of CRM. Then workflow automation is one of the components of CRM. In workflow automation, the processes of the company are automated, and the information is again stored on a centralized database, which is then retrieved by various departments. So, workflow automation leads to a tremendous reduction in cost as well as time. So, this leads to cost reduction and enhanced productivity. So, workflow automation leads to cost reduction and enhanced productivity. Business reporting. So, there are so many reports which are to be generated, and these reports are generated in the proper format by the company, and business reporting is one of the components of CRM, wherein a lot of reports are generated. And then the analytics, of course, analytics are the insights which are generated. So, there is a huge amount of data which is captured, and then this data is observed and analyzed. So, the analysis and the analysis of that data is covered in the analytics part. So, these are the various components of a CRM, and just looking at those components we can realize how important CRM is for any company. So, next we move on to what are the components. So, these components have been explained in detail in the slides to come. The Salesforce automation includes forecasting, recording sales processing, as well as keeping a track of potential interactions. So, here we are doing the record keeping of forecasting and recording the sales processing. Forecasting, as we all know, is the prediction of a future demand. So, forecasting is an important component because through proper forecasting, if the forecasting is accurate, then the company can save a lot of costs, and the company can allocate resources to business processes in an appropriate manner if forecasting is accurate. So, whatever time frame is there, whatever the forecasting horizon is there, if the forecasting is accurate, then it can bring a lot of benefit to the company. While in case of human resource management, now human resource management involves the effective and correct use of human resource and skills at the specific moment and situation. So, this is more concerned with the matching of people with appropriate skill. Matching of people and skills. So, work has to be done through people, and people of appropriate skill have to be matched with suitable tasks, and then they can give their best, and the company can get the best of the output from those people. Then we come to lead management. Now, one of the component was lead management. Lead management, as the name suggests, refers to keeping the track of the sales leads. So, in the sales process, a lot of sales leads are generated, and sales leads are the data referring to the potential consumers, and then the company makes its efforts to convert these leads into actual consumers. So, this lead generation and the lead management is done through CRM. From lead management, we move to customer service. Now, customer service is sometimes so important that it can be a make or a break kind of a thing. So, if the company has to maintain good service, and especially in service industry, customer service can make a huge difference. So, when the customer service becomes so important, then the company has to pay a lot of attention to it, and through CRM, customer relationship management emphasizes on collecting the consumer information. So, customer service does require a lot of information collection from the consumer, because on the basis of the information obtained, the customer can be given good service. So, a lot of information has to be obtained, and the data and which relates to the consumer's demographic information, the purchase information, and the patterns of purchase, as well as the providing the collected information to the necessary and concerned departments. So, if the customer is having some problem with the product, and if the product is defective, so that particular information has to reach the production department and the manufacturing department in order to remove that particular product or defect. So, if that information does not reaches timely to the concerned department, then the company would be at loss. While if that information reaches to the concerned department timely, the concerned department can act on it, and the concerned department can act on removal of the defect, and therefore, the customer satisfaction can be ensured. So, by doing this, the company ensures that the consumers remain satisfied with and happy, and they can become loyal consumers of the company. So, then the next component is marketing. So, as we have already discussed, so this is the major component, and the marketing, the tasks which are performed by this component are campaign management. So, a lot of promotion is done, and list management, campaign management, activity management, a lot of documents are to be kept, the bills are to be kept, call management, the mass emails and reporting. So, whenever we open our email or the inbox, we see that there are a lot of promotional emails we get on a daily basis. So, those promotional emails are sent to a huge database of the customers' email IDs, and these emailing, the automated emailing system are also a part of marketing and promotion. So, there are certain emails which are meant to create awareness of the product in the market, while there are certain emails which are meant to take the feedback from the existing consumers, etc. So, these mails etc. are a part of promotion, and this is a part of marketing component of the CRM. Then after marketing, we move to workflow automation. So, workflow automation can be done through CRM, and it is an important component. What it means is that a number of processes simultaneously occurs. So, when an organizational is functional, at that time a number of processes are happening at the same time. The organization is connecting with the suppliers on one end, and the organization is connecting with the customers on one end. and the organization has its own internal processes that are also going on at the same time, and a lot of questions are being asked to the company by the customers. They have a lot of queries. The suppliers would be asking for their payments. So, all these things are happening at the same time, and therefore, it requires efficient cost cutting as well as streamlining of all the processes. So, it is not easy to manage all these processes at once, and to manage these processes we need something called workflow automation, which is a component of CRM, which through the use of technology helps the organization in streamlining and managing its workflow. Then business reporting and analytics are two important components that we discussed. So, business reporting is concerned with the reports, and it ensures that the reports are in a proper format, and the reports are first of all correct and precise. So, business reports have to be informative, they should carry relevant information only. So, this CRM ensures that the business reports carry relevant information only. Another significant feature is the forecasting and the ability to export the business reports on other systems. So, these reports can be sent to other computer systems, they can be exported as files, and then they can be kept in the physical folders also. While the analytics as a component of the CRM says that it includes creating graphical representations. So, it is concerned with the interpretation of the data, and we know that interpretation can be made easy when the data can be presented in meaningful forms. So, analytics includes creating graphical presentations, data in the form of histograms, charts, figures and diagrams, utilizing the current data as well as the historical data that has been generated in the past. So, this is another important component of CRM. So, these were the components of the CRM that we saw, and now we talk about the significance of CRM. So, in the significance of CRM, we can say that CRM enables an organization to improve the productivity. Now, since we have already seen the components, we have already seen the types of the CRM, that is the operational, analytical as well as the collaborative CRM. So, we can easily understand how useful a tool CRM is and how it can increase or improve the productivity of the organization. So, by properly managing the processes, or rather business processes, the CRM helps an organization in increasing its productivity. So, productivity is about getting the job done quickly, or by yielding more output in a given time. So, CRM really helps an organization in improving its productivity. Increase sales is the second significance of CRM. So, when the productivity would get enhanced. So, enhanced productivity or improved productivity increases customer satisfaction. So, this is a well known fact that improvement in the productivity impacts consumer satisfaction positively, and when there is an increase in consumer satisfaction, it is reflected in increased sales. So, the second point is somewhat connected to the first point. So, with an improvement in productivity, and the improvement in productivity goes a long way in improving the customer satisfaction, and if the customer is happy and satisfied, then he or she would become a loyal customer and would repeatedly purchase from that company, and this would result into increased sales. After increased sales, there is another significance of CRM, which is organized view of customers at one place. So, we all know that the CRM helps in arranging the data of the company, and the data is kept in a very structural fashion in the centralized database, and not only the data recording becomes systematic, but data retrieval also becomes very systematic. So, this is both about recording as well as retrieval. So, we can take the example of customer interactions. So, all the customer interactions are kept in the electronic record in a proper fashion, and then by clicking on the customer ID. So, through that customer ID we can always retrieve the data and check that what were the issues which were raised by the customers and how many issues have been resolved, while how many issues still lie unresolved. So, this is organized view of customers at one place. Then the next significance is accuracy in forecasting. Forecasting's importance is evident in its accuracy, and the more accurate the forecast is, the better it would be for the company, and it can allocate resources and it can manage resources according to the forecast. So, accuracy in forecasting is another very important significance of CRM. Then we have better management of customer service. Now, with all this and with the data in the hands and with all the processes, the workflow being automated, the organization is certainly in a position to serve its customers better. So, by serving customer better or by giving better quality services to the customer and by quickly resolving the issues of the customer, once again what happens is that the customer satisfaction increases, and then the increased customer satisfaction points towards increased sales. So, this is quite evident that CRM systems have a significance in giving better customer service to their existing customers and offering them more satisfaction. Then the last but not the least, when the CRM systems are properly in place and when the company uses the CRM system judiciously and it utilizes the CRM system fully, then this is going to reduce the cost for the company in the longer run. So, initially it is an investment, but in the longer run the company can be assured of good returns if the CRM systems are used properly. So, with this I come to the end of this lecture, and the CRM systems have to be used judiciously and they have to be looked as a tool which is beyond sales and marketing. So, they should be strategically placed. So, with this I thank you so much for all your queries. You can write to me at ashish.avasthi@imscc.ac.in. Thank you so much.